just a few thoughts about the traditional career path and being an entrepreneur. So I got a bachelor's degree a long time ago, and then after that I went back to school 2 other times to study different areas. So I kind of got like certificates in those areas. I can't seem to stay out of school. I love being a student and I love learning. But along the way and in between my bachelor's and then going back to school those other 2 times, I have had a variety of jobs, and they don't necessarily fit together. In fact, they don't. Many times they do not fit together. But each job that I had taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about what I liked and didn't like for work, what suited me, and really helped me to understand what my strengths were and what was definitely not. So it was valuable for that. And it really gave me this nice, broad background and foundation, and eventually, as many years went by, led me to where I am now. I am completely self-employed and I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But that being said, it's good to note that if you are considering striking it out on your own and being an entrepreneur, it is not for the faint of heart. It is something, it's a labor of love. It's something that you will have to put your heart into, and your blood, sweat, and tears. But if you love it and you're passionate about it and you know that this is right for you, I say go for it. But go into it with a lot of awareness. For one, by being an entrepreneur, you are putting all the responsibility on your shoulders to create this service or product, or perhaps both, and make this fly. The roof over your head and the food on your table depend on it. And that is a lot of responsibility. You may find that you have to overlap and do some regular job part-time and then your self-employment part-time, or you may have to do your self-employment as a side gig and then have a regular full-time job until the self-employment builds up. I myself have done it all different ways, all that I just mentioned and more. So it's, the other thing that's good to know is that you have all the responsibility of, paying your own taxes, sourcing your own benefits, paying yourself when you want a day off, or if you want a vacation. You got to find out ways to make that happen too. So there's a lot to it. And you got to be ready for that. And if there's something that that you're really not good at, like if you're not good at invoicing or scheduling, and you are in the position to outsource that and have an assistant, great, then do that. Me, I like to do that on my own though. But I also wanted to address those of you who have this sort of crazy meandering career path. Maybe you've had all different kinds of jobs, and like I said earlier, they don't necessarily, connect with each other, but they've made you into who you are and giving you this really nice, rich background of experience, that you might not have had if your path was straight and linear. I have found, because I have that, when I tried to get a regular job, it kind of like shoots me in the foot. Recruiters or prospective employers will look at my resume if I actually get to meet them, and they'll be like, whoa, so you've been here and here and here. So tell me about, why do you want to work for us? And oftentimes it doesn't go very well. But my challenge to you, or my recommendation, will be to see your varied career path as an asset and not as a liability. Instead of meeting with a recruiter and saying, yeah, I know this isn't all that great, but instead promote it and recommend its value or highlight its value. So often, we go into the work world with this idea that from a very young age, in our early 20s, we should know what we want to do for the next 20, 25 years, and then stick with that. And that idea still holds sway, even though that is often not the case for most of us. We do have career changes multiple times throughout our life. And this idea that we're just going to do one thing from our early 20s until we retire is not necessarily all that true anymore. And it's people who have these diverse backgrounds that can bring so much creativity, innovation, change, and improvement to current processes in work that can, bring so much more development and creativity, which is what most businesses are looking for. So if that is your background, like it is mine, and you are looking for a regular job as opposed to being an entrepreneur, highlight those skills that you have that break up the homogeneity of the workplace. How can you make this better? And go for that, emphasize that. And I hope that brings you some success. And if you're watching this and you are a recruiter, I hope that you know to value the candidate who is scrappy and resourceful, who can create, job or, income out of nothing. I'm one of those, who can turn whatever skills they have into something that is marketable and valuable to a prospective employer. So I hope you take that candidate into consideration and see all that they have to offer. All right, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like it, and if you'd like to subscribe, that would be lovely. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.